Hi, I'm Sibongile Ngako, and we're going to talk about how to be your authentic self at work. What is authenticity and why is it important? I define it as being in a state where what you do and what you say aligns with your values and the core of who you are. Now, why is that important in work and in life? Because being your authentic self promotes happiness and contentment. And frankly, we spend way too much time at work to not be as happy as possible while we're there. So how do we do that? First thing is to identify your core values. What are the things that are important to you? What are your priorities in life? And you can do this a number of ways. You can journal to take stock of your life and kind of free write. There are decks of cards, each where each card has a value that, and then you start with the full deck and then narrow it down to 20 and then 10 and then the 5 that are most important to you. There are a lot of ways to do this, but identify your core values. Second, align to these values at work. So for example, for me, one of my core values is inner peace, and that impacts how I interact with others at work, which battles I pick versus pass on, how I resolve conflict. And when you hone in on your values, that actually brings you closer to your authentic self. 3 is use your voice. I have a 2-year-old toddler, and I often tell her, Billy, use your words. So practice expressing your thoughts, feelings, opinions. It's a muscle that you have to develop. And if you're not used to doing this, start in a small group, in a safe space, and then progress from there until you feel fully free to express yourself. And also remember that being silent is a choice. You can choose when to use your voice and choose when not to. 4 is find visual ways of expressing yourself. Hair, makeup, not wearing makeup, jewelry, colors. Make sure that you show up as in a way that's comfortable and organic for you, not in a way that's trying to fit in with what you think people want to see. And then finally, and this is so important, something I've had to learn myself over the years, operate on the assumption that you have nothing to prove, okay? Operate on the assumption that you have nothing to prove. Sometimes women especially put such immense pressure on ourselves, especially high achieving women who really want to make an impact in the world. And, that's understandable. But when I find that when I'm operating from a place of having nothing to prove, that's actually when I'm at my most free and most authentic self. So to wrap up, remember that a work environment is a two-way street. It's like a relationship. It's not just for you to fit in with your work culture. That culture also has to fit in with who you are as well. And if that's not the case, then perhaps it is time to seek new horizons. That's all for today. Thanks for joining. Be sure to subscribe so you can check out future episodes. And until then, be empowered and be you.